Hi, I'm your Excel buddy here, and today in this video we are going to see how SumIf works for me. So to begin with, here I am with my database, and with this database I have to extract the salary of different departments. So here I go. I have the names of the departments listed down here. And let us say I want to calculate the overall salary drawn by admin department or finance department or so on. So here I go. I'll start right away with equals sum if. As the name itself suggests, this is going to sum something if a criteria matches. So that's it. So here I go, apply the formula sum if open parentheses, and the instructions are right there in front of you now. Range, criteria, and sum range. That is the range where you are going to find for your criteria to match. So here I go, I want to search it here. Now what do I want to search? I'll come back to this sheet and I can select this particular cell which has got the name of the department, which is my criteria or the search criteria. As we already know, we can also key in the search criteria manually like this in case it's just for one. But as I know that there are multiple departments, so rather than naming each department every time, I can even give the reference of the particular cell in which this name exists. Now at the end, after putting this comma, I can define what exactly is to be totaled or what is the sum range. So here I go back to my database and I say sum it from this column, close parenthesis, and to summarize the formula once again, it will look in sheet 3 column C, that is departments column, this one. If this criteria matches, it will sum up the respective values from D column, that is the salary column. I hit enter and here I am. So I've got the salary of the admin department. Now when I scroll this formula further down, here I am with the salary of all the departments. Now let us say to further drill it down, I have to calculate the salary as per their bands. What is the salary of all these different bands in these different departments? So this time I have to match two things, that is number one the department name and number two the band name. So as you would have made it out till now, that there are two criteria to be matched. Number one, department name. Number two, band name. So here we are going to use sum if in plural sense, of course, by putting an extra s. So we'll be using sum ifs. I'm ready to apply the formula now. I key in sum ifs, open parenthesis. Here it asks for sum range first. It says define the sum range and after that carry on with your criteria. So here I go. I come back to the database sheet and I say this is the sum range, that is which we need to sum up. Again, as we already know, when we drag this formula to the right side, we do not want our reference to change. So how do we freeze this? By hitting F4 button. So by hitting F4 button, I have freezed this reference. Now I'll move on with the next things, that is criteria range 1. Again, as we did it for normal SumIf formula, we'll be doing it for this as well. Department, again, I do not want this to move. Hit F4 and it freezes the criteria range number 1. Putting a comma, I have to define the criteria now. So I go back to my main page. Here I say department name. Again, now as I drag it to the right, I do not want the criteria to change from G2 to H2 to I2 to J2 and K2 further. So what do I do? Here I freeze only the column because I have to get it changed from row number 2 to row number 3, that is to look up for finance, 4 to look up for HR, and so on. So I'll hit F4, F4 and F4 once again. So you can see only the column is freezed, comma, criteria range number 2. So I get my second range as column E from my database where we have the bands. Again, I'll freeze the references, put a comma, come back and define. Here I have to search for A, B, C and D, so on. So this time when I drag it to the right, it's okay when the formula changes the reference from H to I, then to J, then to K, but I do not want it to move from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. So here I'll have to freeze 1, that is the row number. So I hit F4 once, twice, and that's it. I'm done. Rows are freezed, columns are not. So I'm done. I have defined the sum range, criteria range 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2, and I close parenthesis and I hit enter. So there I am. Admin department, A band has got 80,500. Now when I further drag it to the right and bring it down, here I am with the exact breakup of the overall salary as per bands. And to match it up further, you can apply sum here and you see it matches. So we have verified the same. So that's it. That was all about SUMIF and SUMIFs. I hope this helps. Thank you.